Welcome to another episode of Obscured Reality. Join your hosts, Mark and Stephanie, as they take you through a journey of the extraordinary, bizarre, and often frightening world of the unknown. Explore topics of the paranormal, UFOs, alien abduction, lost civilizations, mythical monsters, and other unexplained mysteries. Come along with us as we transcend into another dimension of obscured reality.
Welcome back to Obscured Reality. Stevie, Mark, Obscured Reality. We're all back. Stevie, how's it going tonight?
Pretty fucking good.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pumped. Are you pumped?
I am pumped.
All right. Well, I don't know why this feels redundant, but I got to ask you a question. You don't come from, you live in South Bend.
I
Indiana,
do.
don't you? Yeah.
I do.
I know you're comfortable with sharing that. You've shared it before.
Yes.
Hit.
Hip, hip.
Have you heard of Primrose Road?
Negative.
No?
No.
Have you heard of Cleveland or Adams Roads?
Yes, I have heard of Cleveland at Adams. Yes.
Good. Do you wonder why I'm asking? How does this guy from Cali have any clue about roads in South Bend? Besides, I have family there. And
I was gonna
go
say,
there once in a while.
you do have some family here and you just randomly show up once in a while, but with no fucking warning.
Yeah, but there's only one street I know, and that's the one the family lives on. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only street name I remember there.
Yeah, so low-key curious as to why you're talking about streets in a city that you visit once every 5 years.
Yeah, well, there's some hauntings going on in South Bend, and I thought tonight would be a show about haunted South Bend, Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm interested to hear these and see how many I've either heard of or visited, I guess, myself.
Ooh, visit much haunted places lately?
I mean, I try. I mean, my fucking house is
really?
haunted, so I do. I like the weird things.
Good. All right. Well, before we do that, like, share, subscribe, guys. Comment down below. Shoot us an email at obscuredr1@gmail.com if you want to share your, if you have an obscure story yourself and you'd like us to share it for you on here. We'll do so anonymously. If you'd like to come on the show, you can call in. It's super easy. You can do it on video if you want. We can do it anonymously. Completely up to you. But I think that would be even more awesome. You come on here, tell your story, and we can have a chat about
Chit-chat.
that. Yeah, and hit the bell too. And all right, let's get into haunted South Bend. Primrose Road in South Bend. You have heard of Primrose Road?
Only because you've just mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
have
so
not heard of it.
on Primrose Road between Cleveland and Adams Roads. So there's several urban legends surrounding Primrose Road, especially along the dirt road between Auten and Adams Roads. Vehicles traveling slower than 20 miles per hour will supposedly have their tires slashed, while vehicles traveling faster than 30 will apparently experience car troubles, or the vehicle may turn off. That's interesting.
Isn't that car troubles?
Yeah. You know, I just for Primrose Road, I wish I lived there so I could just drive down it every day and look at what's going on. Just because if this was really a big thing, like, you'd expect it to be happening all the time, so much so that it'd be covered in the local newspapers,
Yeah.
the news, you know.
Yeah, definitely have never heard anything about that.
Not to say that it's not a thing. I'm just saying. So others
Maybe
have
back
reported,
in like the 60s.
Yeah, others have reported seeing a disappearing farmhouse, a phantom car that just disappears after it goes over a hill. Electronics that are fully charged are rumored to lose power near a field along the road. A woman rumored to have been murdered in a ritualistic sacrifice and buried in a nearby lake. is also believed to haunt Primrose Road. Okay,
Interesting.
how do you get buried in a lake?
Maybe it's boggish. Maybe it's a very boggish. Like, come if you're gonna jump in my lap, come here, cat. Come on.
Well, it says buried in a nearby lake. So
Yeah.
if you're buried in the lake, that tells me that's under the water, right? Not in the muddy parts.
So quick map search of this area shows me.
You know what? Let's bring up.
Let's
I
bring
happen
it
to
up.
have a screenshot here of where we're partially where we're talking about. This is part of it right here. Is Primrose Road.
Well, there's the lake you were talking about that she got buried in.
Yeah. Hey. Wow. Interesting fact. Take a look at that photo. That snapshot.
Looking.
Look at the lake. Look at the water. Look at the shape of that lake. What do you see?
I'm bad at these tests. Okay, I
That-
see a blob.
The shape of that lake looks like a person.
I don't see it.
Well,
don't see it.
the blue line cuts off
Okay,
one
I
leg.
see it. God damn it, I see it now.
You will never unsee that now. Yeah, that's.
You're right.
Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps.
That's over by our airport.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll make sure to stop by next time I'm over there.
Yeah, you do that.
Well, I might.
It's also like damn near touching Michigan.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
So, at the end of Primrose Road, if you take a right on Adams Road, there's a small cemetery nearby that's rumored to be haunted by the people buried there. And to me, that sounds like every cemetery you've ever heard of.
Well,
But
I see which one you're talking about, and that fucker looks old. Because when you're looking at cemeteries and they have like the little tiny headstones, and you're just like, oh, okay, like that's old because they're halfway sunk into the ground. That's what this looks like.
When's the last time you saw a new cemetery?
I literally drive by one every day.
A new cemetery?
Yes, I drive by the city cemetery every day to go to work, and we have a new section and an old section. And the old section is like halfway sunken, mostly broken, sometimes wood grave markers, and then the new section is like your typical big ass headstones that you see.
Guys, don't move to South Bend. People dying like crazy out there, apparently.
We have one cemetery for Mishawaka where I live.
So this new cemetery is not actually a new cemetery. It's just a new part of the older cemetery.
New part of the only cemetery.
So it's not a new cemetery. It's an extent. Yeah. All right. Come on. Words matter. All right. Let's move on from Primrose. Have you heard of the Joseph D. Oliver House?
Sure fucking have. I've gone through that fucker twice. It's beautiful.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it looks like there's another name for it called Kopshahom. And I could be wrong, but that kind of sounds like I don't want to fuck it up. I'm not good with this stuff, but like a Jewish name or a Jewish word.
It does sound like a Jewish word, but I've never heard that name in reference to the Oliver Mansion.
Is there a big Jewish community out there?
There is a massive Hasidic Jewish community here.
Okay, so my guess is maybe what that is. Not that it matters. I was just curious because it kind of sounds like that to me. Mm-hmm. So this is located at 808 West Washington Street in South Bend.
Yep, that's
Indiana.
pretty much downtown.
Yeah, so this 38-room house was built in 1895 for J.D. Oliver and his family, and is one of the 3 historic South Bend houses anyone can tour through the History Museum. While it looks perhaps too lovely to seem terrifying, some former employees swear the place is haunted. Here's a quote. Yeah, here's a quote. I had lights turn on and off while I shut down the mansion for the evening. This is from Valerie Ratner. She's a former tour guide at Kopshahom. There's no electricity for the call buttons, and they've turned on while I was in the room with arrows that shot up indicating which rooms need service in the house.
See, That's
I wanna
interesting because they literally show off the calls. Well, it's not an electric call system that they show off, so that's very strange.
Mhm.
I've never seen the one that they're talking about. I've only seen the one that where like you hit the button and it rings and drops a lever in the kitchen that tells the servants what room just got rung, and then they reset it in the kitchen. I've never seen an electric call sign in that house that has to do with numbers.
Well, they said this isn't electric. It said there is no
Well,
electricity
it's
for the
not
call
electric.
buttons.
It's literally it never was an electric call system. It was like the kind that drops a pin
Oh,
on a board.
wait. Shut up in here. Which rooms need service? That's interesting because
Yeah.
it sounds like there was or is some type of call button type service that is electric, but there's
May
no
have been.
electricity for it. Like they've
Yeah.
shut it off.
There may have been a call system like that because there is an intercom
Huh.
system throughout the house.
Yeah.
But the actual call system in which like the people would like hit a button in their room and it would trigger something like a lever to fall in a box in the kitchen, which would tell the servants what room was just called. So
Right.
the intercom system, that's probably what they're talking about that doesn't have electricity to it. But the actual like kitchen call servant button never was electric, and they show it off literally every time you go through the tour.
Yeah.
I've been through it twice.
So Ratner, she said, Ratner started running through the billiards room and small ballroom while turning the lights off at the end of the night because she said she felt an awful feeling when she was in them. So she'd be closing up for the night and she'd go to turn the lights off, and I can picture her kind of reaching over to the light switch, being like, okay, turn it off and start running to the next one, turn it off so you're not in this dark room for long, and you get out that next door quickly and you and be able to turn around, not have a dark room behind
That
you.
would 100%
That's eerie.
be me. Yeah. No, it is a
that's eerie
creepy
anywhere.
house. It is a creepy house.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It is creepy. The farther up you go, the creepier it gets. Like obviously the first floor had a lot of life. You can tell that there was that was where the family spent a lot of their time.
Mhm.
But the third floor where that ballroom and the billiards room is that they're talking about is where one of Oliver's sons ended up living most of his life after his wife was like tragically killed. So
Interesting.
that doesn't surprise me that she would feel something like that on the third floor, considering that the gentleman who lived up there lost his wife very tragically in a horseback riding accident.
No, I didn't say anything about the third floor.
I'm just telling you, that's where the ballroom
Okay.
and billiards room is, and that's also
Perfect.
who lived
Okay.
up there. So that makes sense to me why she
Ah.
would feel uncomfortable because of the gentleman who lived up there in the way that he lost his wife. Because it's literally around the corner from the ballroom, and the billiards room is right off of the ballroom. So
Well, you sound like a little smarty pants on this topic tonight.
it's a really pretty house. I like it. Okay, I like architecture.
Guys, if you're wondering why Stevie's not doing tonight's show and I am, then make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment that down below because I'm curious as well. If you have an obscure story of yourself, and if you maybe been to one of these places we're going to be mentioning tonight, you've had some hauntings, paranormal, UAP, whatever, Bigfoot, shoot us an email. Again, obscuredr1@gmail.com. Type story in the subject line. Let us know your story in the email. We'll share it for you on the show. Anonymously, of course, if you'd like. If you want to be on the show, just let us know in the email. Super duper easy, and we'll have you on. You just call in. You can do it on video, on a computer, on your phone, whatever, or just audio. Up to you, anonymously or not. We can. You can tell your own story, and we can have a chat. Hit the bell too. All right. So here's the last quote for this one. Ratner said, "I also couldn't leave one day and was trapped inside because the doors wouldn't open. I had to call the maintenance person on the radio and beg him to hurry and let me out."
I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that one. That one's freaking creepy. Yeah, because there's a lot of doors in that place, and to not be able to get out is terrifying. Because I can count probably 5 doors on just the lower floor.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, this sounds like a place that if you were in the area using the Randonautica app, it'd probably put you somewhere real close to this place.
Probably, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
Hey,
that whole section of town is old as fuck and has lots of money behind it. So that wouldn't
interesting.
surprise me. Yeah.
By the way, on the menu tonight,
Ooh.
Mai Tai.
Oh,
Ooh, Mai Tai's guy.
Ooh. On the menu tonight is days off, which you can pick up here.
That's all you, but
Not
I
a
feel ya.
sponsor.
All right.
If you live in
well,
Illinois, check them out.
Illinois.
Illinois.
All right, let's move on. We got the next one up here. Ooh, the Elkhart Civic Theater at the Bristol Opera House. Have you been there?
No,
Heard of it,
I do not go to Elkhart.
though. Why not?
I will tell you after the show. Let's just say
Ooh.
that it is a particular brand that I don't necessarily enjoy out there. Like I'm just
You're
not
gonna have
into
to
like
tell me.
I'm just not into like let's just put it super country. Like it is a very
What?
small town comparatively. And I just
Huh.
have no need to go into towns like that. Like it's already bad enough I live in the small town that I do. So
Well,
it's
we go to
Yeah.
Elkhart when we go out there.
I don't know why.
Family.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
I'm-
you know how
I'm
small
not-
it is out there. Then it's so much smaller than South Bend. So like, if this place is small to me, I have no reason to go out there unless whatever
Well, I've
service
not
I need is
seen-
exponentially cheaper.
I've not seen, heard, or had any issues out there. Honestly,
No,
I
I
don't
do-
know
I
how.
Just
I don't know
like
how large or small it is, but I will
Small.
say this: where we've gone, I don't know how deep into Elkhart we go, regardless of how big it is or not. But I will tell you, I think we've only seen about 4 houses on our trip into where we go. It's all trees and stuff, which I kind of like, honestly. Well, Elkhart Civic Theater. So this is located at 210 East Vistula Street in
Okay.
Bristol. The theater and opera house was built in 1897. Ooh, I'm seeing a commonality here. Built in
Oh, yeah.
1897. The J.D. Oliver house we just talked about was built in 1895.
My house was built in 1895. Yeah, this whole the whole area
Oh,
boomed.
You're gonna die tonight, man. Whoa, you're
Yeah, this
gonna
whole
have some
area boomed
hauntings.
around that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What happened?
Technology technically and all the industry started
Yeah.
to really build up in the area.
Well, so the Elkhart Civic Theater at the Bristol Opera House was built in 1897. It's believed to be haunted by several ghosts. Employees and visitors have seen books fly off shelves at people in the library, and actors say they were grabbed while on stage. Other employees have asked ghosts for help finding items in the costume shop. After the employees left the room and returned a while later, they quickly found the items they were looking for.
I do that. I am so guilty of that because I'll place something and I'll forget where it is, and I'm just like, damn it! If you know where I put it, fucking help me. And sure as shit, I tend to find it afterwards. Like
Yeah.
that's funny. That's super funny to me.
So one employee saw a shadow of a person pretending to conduct an orchestra, but when she walked into the room where the shadow was coming from, nobody was there. Of course, because
I'm
it's
trying
ghost.
to imagine how you would see a shadow and how
Well,
like
people
cast on a
describe-
wall, or I don't know.
No, people describe things differently, right?
Yeah,
so
I
if you,
understand. I'm just
people
trying
say
to understand.
shadow people, right? And that could simply be an effect of the brain and the eyes and age. I've seen it before, out of the far side
Corner.
of my peripheral vision, especially on my right side. And, that would be considered, I think what people call shadow people. It doesn't mean it's an actual, like a shadow of something on the wall. It's just a dark figure, a dark something
True.
moving, right? So I think that's where they're going.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
You'll like this. The theater's resident poltergeist, Percy, Percy, that's an old name, is believed to be the ghost of Percival Hilbert. Hilbert was a handyman who secretly lived in the basement with his wife and two
Secretly?
daughters. Yeah, and two daughters after they were evicted during the Great Depression. Well, doesn't sound like much of a secret to me. Hilbert didn't die at the theater, but is believed to have returned in death to play tricks on people, like moving tools around where they weren't set.
Hence why you have to say, help me find such and such item. So, oh my God, dog,
It's a
you just
control
scared
thing.
the shit out of me.
It's a control thing. That's all it is with these damn ghosts.
Kyle, why you do that?
Focus, guys. Comment down below. Should Stevie
God,
focus?
No, it's not that. We're talking
No,
about
dude,
ghosts and
dude.
shit, and my dog just fucking busted my door that was closed, and I was like, ah!
See, now
door-
it makes more sense.
My door was closed, and then you had to scare me.
Dogs.
Okay, go away.
All right. Well, the next one up, I'm going to give you one guess, see if you can figure out what place this is. My
Okay.
guess is I'd be willing to bet a ton of money you've never even heard of this place. Take one guess.
The
Come on,
State
hurry the
Theater.
fuck up.
The State Theater.
No.
I don't know.
Okay. It's not a popular place. I've never even heard of it. University of Notre Dame.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
So
So are we
Notre-
talking the entire campus, or are we
We'll-
talking like
we'll find
particular
out.
points on campus? Because
we'll find out. So Notre
that place
Dame's
is a fucking its own city.
Yeah, Notre Dame's on
Yeah.
Angela Boulevard.
Yes,
There
it
are
is.
several rumors of hauntings on Notre Dame's campus. One of the most famous is the ghost of George Gipp. Gipp, G-I-P-P. I've
Gipp, yep.
never heard that name before.
I have.
He was a
Oddly.
star football player who died in 1920 after sleeping on the steps of
That's why.
Washington Hall in December and contracting pneumonia.
But I mean, what would
Why was he
you
sleeping
think
there?
would happen? Yeah.
Well, he was a star football player at Notre Dame, so that means,
I mean, they did-
football, no study.
Considering
I don't
they
know.
wore leather helmets back then. No, I think the reason I know that name is because they have a huge Notre Dame football exhibit at the History Museum. Funny
Uh-huh.
enough,
Yeah,
so that's probably why it sounds familiar.
he's in there. Since his death, students have reported hearing music playing in the building in the middle of the night, a horn going off at midnight, steps in empty hallways, and a door slamming, among other unexplainable happenings. So I just want to know, how are those things attributed to this particular person if that's happening, you know?
Right. I mean, if it's Washington Hall, I'm not sure if that's a dorm or if that's classroom only or if it's mixed purpose. So, I mean, if anyone stays there and there's music playing, I'm pretty sure that's self-explanatory.
I mean, it's a fucking university, yeah.
Fucking, like, you could be walking down the pathways in between, like, the actual dorms and fucking hear people.
Of course.
So, but yeah, I, like you, I'm very curious as to how they attribute. Maybe it's just because he supposedly died on the steps of the hall.
Well,
and
they
they're
did say
thinking-
since his death, so that would
Yeah, so-
that would make me think that nothing happened before he died, but after he died. But then I'd want to know, well, how soon after he died, right?
Right.
Like if it started 20 years after he died, like there's no way he's the only person that died there.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that place has been around for a long time, and
yeah.
it's huge. There's no way.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
The next place we have Hacienda at the 100 Center.
Yes, I love
Oh!
the
See, god damn it. I knew the show was going to liven your ass up, and that's a good thing. See, it's going to keep you from... No, you give me a middle finger all you want. I'm serious. It's going to keep you from yawning and all that shit.
Look,
No joke. I
motherfucker,
knew you'd
it gets to be
interested.
about 1 o'clock and we're still talking. I can't help it because I've been up since like 6 a.m. and I'm just like, oh. And I also usually do a
Uh.
whole 10-day at work, 10-hour at work, 10-day at work, 10 hours at work. See, there we go. No, the Hacienda Center, the Hacienda at the 100 Center is an old house that has been turned into a restaurant. It actually is not part of the 100 Center. It's just on the property that it's considered the 100 Center.
Right.
The 100 Center in itself is a whole other haunted story for you. It used to be an old brewery, but the house is supposedly haunted by its former owners. I do know this one.
The Hacienda at the 100 Center on 700 Lincoln West, Mishawaka, is a Mexican restaurant rumored to be haunted by the mansion's former owner and one of his maids. Hey,
the rumor has it is that the maid got pregnant with the owner's child and she killed herself.
The pair is said to have had an affair. But the owner rejected her after she got pregnant. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hey guys, I'll repeat myself. If you really want to know why I'm doing tonight's show and not Stevie, like, share, subscribe, and comment that shit down below. If you have been to the Hacienda at the 100 Center, comment down below. If you've had a strange happening at Hacienda at the 100 Center in Mishawaka,
please fucking comment down below. Because
don't. You're going to email us at obscuredr1@gmail.com. You're going to type story in the subject line, and you're going to tell us your story in the email, and we're going to share your story for you on here anonymously. Or not. Up to you. If you want to come on the show and tell us your Hacienda story, please come on the show. Tell your story. You can do so anonymously or not. Up to you.
My story about the Hacienda is how good their fucking margaritas are. I've never had a strange incident there, and I've ate there a number of times, and I've never experienced anything.
How far is that from you?
It is literally a half-mile walk from my house.
We're gonna have to go there next time I'm out there.
Dude, there's so many new places that have popped up around me. So next time you come out, we're just gonna have to make it a nice little train. Because they're all within like a half mile of each other, and it is all like margaritas and tacos and tequila bars around me now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, so the lady that got pregnant and rejected by her owner, I'm sorry, by the owner, she's rumored to have. She's rumored, well, back then, unfortunately, she's rumored to have hanged herself in the attic. And he shot himself in the basement.
Yep.
Why did he shoot himself? He's so distraught. She hanged herself?
Yep.
Because he's the one who rejected her after she got pregnant. Like, what? I mean, you rejected her. She's gone.
It probably got out that she was pregnant. And
yeah.
I mean,
well, customers and employees have reported flickering lights, toilets flushing on their own, and bathroom stall doors opening and closing at random on the second floor.
I got super cringe from that just now.
Yeah, I got to bring this back up because of that. I mean, I had a similar experience at a place of employment, and I've mentioned this on the show before. I don't think we did a full show on it. Yeah, we did. It was a few personal stories of my own. And so the place I worked in, we were on the 5th floor. I would go use the restroom, and I'd be in there, and I'd hear the restroom door, the door from the work area into the restroom. I'd hear it open and close. I think once I heard the water. I could be wrong on that, though. But whatever, and I'd never thought anything of it, right? If someone's coming in and taking a piss, whatever, going to the urinal, whatever, you don't pay attention to that. Well, after a period of time had gone by, I heard it once. Well, I finished up real quick after I heard it open, right? So there's nobody in there when I go in, do my thing. I'm getting up, getting ready to go out. And, before I do, I hear the door open and close. That would mean someone came in because nobody was in there.
Right.
And I get up and go out, and I look over, just naturally look over at the urinals to see who's there. It's going to be someone I know, right? And there's nobody. I'm like, they're at the sinks. And I go around the wall, and there's nobody at the sinks. I'm like, what the fuck? Then I started paying attention to it, and I noticed it happened quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, there was another girl who worked there on the 6th floor, and we talked every once in a while, and I mentioned it to her at one point. She goes, I've been up here at different times when nobody's been on the floor, like a weekend or later in the evening. She goes, I've heard people walking by on the floor. I've literally gotten up to say hi. There's nobody there. There was a person who worked by her. She said she heard them typing on the keyboard, and she didn't realize someone was still there, and she went over to talk to him.
No one was.
Nobody. I'm not joking. But here's
look, my hours end at 5. Good fucking bye. I would be out. I would work from home for the next couple of days.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. There's obscured reality, and I've said from the beginning, number one, I'm not going to discount a story.
Yeah.
Okay. But I am going to look for proofs, facts, evidence. I'm going to use common sense, some critical thinking, and actually think about things, right? You're hearing these noises in this particular, in my case, this office setting. And for her, the noises she heard were your typical office noises. Now, you could easily argue, well, right, you're in an office. Of course, those are the typical noises you would hear, whether people are there or not, right?
You're not going to hear typing if no one's there, though.
Well, no, not if nobody's there, but that is a noise you would hear in the office.
Yes.
And me going into the restroom, of course, what you would hear is the restroom door opening and closing. So you could easily argue both ways on that, but it happened too many times. It's one of those things where you do something so much, you do it every day. We've all had it happen where a family member has passed away, a pet has passed away, and you swear to God you fucking heard him. We had to put a dog down recently, and both of us heard shit that we thought, and it's just your brain playing tricks. It's just a common thing you hear every day in, day out, nighttime. And
I agree. I had to have my friends watch my dog for a little bit because I was in the between. I was like the situation, I was moving, and it took me like a while to move. And I swear to God, that first night I would hear her little tapping of her little feet on the floor, and it's just like I knew she wasn't there, but I would still hear it. So I get it.
Yeah. And it could be something, it could be nothing. I'm just saying our brains play tricks on us. You're used to something for so long, it happens. And I'm not discounting the story at all. I'm just saying, there's explanations as well that could be possible.
Right.
So yeah, that's interesting. We'll have to go there, and we'll have to take a look at the lights. We'll have to not flush the toilets and see if they flush on their own. We'll have to not touch the stall doors, see if they open and close.
Definitely gotta tell the ghost that if it's yellow, it's mellow. That way they get pissed off and possibly flush it for you. Because, maids, they don't want that shit just chilling. So.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our last one. Okay. Little Egypt Cemetery. Have you heard of that place?
Yes. Actually,
Really?
I fucking have. I have actually just recently have heard of Little Egypt Cemetery, and I have heard of the creepy things. It is not that far away from me. It's about 25 minutes.
Well, 25 minutes out there in fucking South Bend is like 2 miles.
No.
Seems like it takes forever to get anywhere out there. Like you look on the map and it's like it's not that far, and then it's like 30 minutes later you're fucking there.
Okay, so this is out. Exactly. This is south. This is south into where you're like. It's not the town. It's the township that you're in. So that's why it doesn't. You're gonna get farther in a faster amount of time because you don't have every fucking red light in the world, preventing you from getting there, and 2 people going 30 and the fucking 45 next to each other. Not like I ran into that this morning on the way to work.
So you've been there, or you've just heard of it?
I've just heard of it. I don't know exactly where it is, but I do know that it is particularly close to me. But I have heard of it. Yep.
Okay.
Like I think it was
Keep
like the
talking.
cars
I'm
go
keep
up, like
talking.
backwards or some
I'm
shit
filling
like
up
that.
my Moscow Mule cup with some ice.
That doesn't look like a copper cup. Is that steel or copper?
I don't know, but it's
That
got
looks-
my name on it.
Okay, well that looks
So
like a
it's
steel
cool.
cup. That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually a nice one for this stuff. But keep talking. Little Egypt Cemetery.
Yeah, I do believe that if you park there, your car rolls backwards, if I remember correctly. Bleh.
Moscow Mule. You don't like Moscow Mules?
I don't like ginger beer, man.
Oh man, in a Moscow Mule, you got to get a good ginger beer though. Cock and Bull is a name. It's a red and black can or bottle. Cock and Bull is the best. If you get that real German one, I forget the name. They sell it in most of the stores. It's very common. They usually have the diet one. Those ones are shit. The Cock and Bull actually has a good bite to it. It's good. This is just pre-made shit in a can, but it's actually pretty good.
So,
Cheers. Cheers,
the-
bitches.
Cheers, bitches.
Bitches means everyone, not females. Everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers,
yeah.
bitches.
Cheers, bitches. Yeah, text me that. I know someone who does like ginger beer a lot.
Cock and Bull. No
I-
shit. I'm not joking, man.
I draw my line at ginger soda, like that. Like Werner's is as gingery as I get.
Ginger ale.
Well, ginger ale soda, yeah. But this one's a little bit more gingery than like Canada Dry. Ugh, that shit's
Right.
disgusting. Werner's is superior. Anyone from the Midwest, will
Canada's not
understand.
that dry, by the way.
Quite moist.
Oh,
Set
Okay.
yourself up for that. So yeah, Little Egypt
Oh,
Cemetery.
boy.
Yeah, I do believe, like I said, that it is if you park your or stop your car, put it in neutral, it like rolls uphill or some shit, if I remember correctly.
now that's almost sounds like a just a trick, like for instance, there's an amusement park by us, an old Western amusement park style. They're famous for their jams and jellies. Guys, you all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Knott's Berry Farm. They have a little thing you can go into and watch a little show where they roll balls uphill and they stand sideways and all this bullshit. But when you're getting into the seats, because you're not a fucking idiot, when you go sit down in this these rows that holds like 20 people, you're like, oh, it's hard to get up these 3 steps and sit in this chair. And when I sit in this chair that's bolted or cemented into the ground, like I can already feel I'm leaning sideways and leaning back. Like you already know it's just a trick with angles. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Those people are standing normal. You're fucked up sitting in the seat like all cockeyed. That's all it is. So I wonder if it's something like that, like an optical illusion type deal.
I'm not too sure. I mean, to have a car physically like roll uphill, I'm not too sure. But I know that there are some places where like magnetic lines cross and like shit does get kind of
Yeah.
weird, where they have like
Mhm.
natural
Yes.
incidents like that. Really want to check one of those out, just because, again, like you said,
So if I'm not
it's very much
mistaken,
angles.
I'd have to do some research on this, but if I'm not mistaken, we might want to be looking at ley lines throughout the planet. Ley lines, I believe, have to do with magnetics, and there's certain areas where shit always happens, and they're always on these goddamn ley lines. Has to do with magnetism and all that stuff. Yeah, possibility,
Okay,
Well-
so Little Egypt Cemetery, you can't actually Google because it's on Little Egypt Road. It's known as Ewald Cemetery in Bremen, Indiana. So that's just south.
Woo!
A little strong?
Well, no, swallowed wrong. That
Oh,
rhymed. I'm a rhymer. I'm a stealer. I got
broke my
mixed up
brain
there
on that
with-
one. Jesus fuck. Okay.
I got mixed up
Ewald.
there with a song from someone old school and a Beastie Boy song, rhyming and stealing. Okay, so Little Egypt Cemetery. It's on 5th and Hawthorne Roads in Bremen.
Bremen.
That's what I said. Also known as Ewald
Yep.
Cemetery.
Yep.
So legend has it that people driving along Fifth Road have seen several apparitions standing on the gravestones and running into the roadway as they drive by the cemetery. If you toss a nickel or a penny on a baby's grave near the back of the cemetery, legend says you're supposed to hear a baby crying. So why a nickel or a penny? Why can't I toss a fucking quarter or a dime? And how did someone figure that out? Oh, I tossed a nickel, it worked. Oh, boom, I tossed a penny. What the fuck? I hear it again. Oh, the next coin I have, it's a dime. Toss it, nothing.
I'm going to be
Shit, do I have
completely
anything left?
honest.
I mean,
This is a creepy ass cemetery. Tell you what.
it's a fucking cemetery, of course.
Nah,
It's
nah, it's like
creepy.
in the middle of fucking nowhere. Actually, nothing was creepier than the Civil War cemetery I found in Tennessee. That was weird.
Why? What's so creepy about that one?
Sound stopped literally when so everything was cool. We were driving down the road and I saw a sign that it was just said cemetery with like a little arrow, and I was like, we have to go check that out. And he was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, says everybody. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're in the middle of the fucking.
Why wouldn't you? I mean,
Yeah, you're in the middle of Tennessee, in the middle of a national forest. Why not just go off the trail,
yeah.
following a sign that says cemetery?
My kids always ask to go see cemeteries every time we pass one.
Parents actually take walks through cemeteries because apparently they're weird like that. See, that's where I don't know.
You're whoa.
Yeah. My parents take walks through the local cemetery because they like the headstones and think that it's pretty.
Is it real? So it's real close to their home.
Yes.
With
I mean, granted, it is a
obviously,
pretty
their
one
home.
because there's like hills and big trees, and it is a richer cemetery, so there's pretty headstones. I get it, but they were like totally chill about it, and I'm like, all right. But anyways,
Wait. Why does that weird you out? That your fucking parents
they
are chill?
regularly take walks.
Hold the fuck up. Why is it weird to you that your parents are chill about taking a walk through a cemetery that you yourself admit it's actually kind of beautiful, yet you are driving on the fucking highway, the road or whatever, and you're like, cemetery, we gotta fucking go.
Hold, please. So here's the thing: they take regular walks through the cemetery. Like
Well,
it's
fuck yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's a
better
regular
than the
thing.
fucking street.
Considering where they live, they could walk the street and be just fine. But no, this was just like a random thing. I was like, hey, Civil War cemetery, let's go see it. Historical purpose. I saw that. Nice try. So we drive down this road that passes through a river twice to get to a clearing, and at up
Through
to
the river.
yes, it was a small little stream, and you actually had to like cross
Through
through it. Yes, drive
Okay,
through it
okay.
to continue. And
So you
it
get wet.
ends. Not really. It was a small stream. It wasn't like a big river that you had to ford like Oregon Trail style. It was just we had also a forerunner, so it was fine.
Guys, have you ever played the Oregon Trail? That was a good game
It was a
back when
great
elementary
game.
school for me. Now that was the fucking
Great
80s.
game. You made it like halfway through before you died of dysentery. Yeah. So we get to the end, and it's like just an ending, like a cul-de-sac style. And we get out of the truck, and we're like, well, what the fuck? Where is it? And now, granted, at this time, there's birds chirping, like bugs everywhere. It is a sounding forest. And I'm like, oh, hey, it's up the hill because I can see the tops of a couple of the tombstones. So we walk up the hill. The second we hit the fucking cemetery, silence.
Like,
Dead
did you notice it when
silence.
you hit it, or had you
Yes.
been in it for a few minutes and then noticed it?
No, noticed it immediately. Noticed it immediately. Silence. And then
Well-
so after a while, like I noticed that more and more bugs were like swarming us. And so I was like, I think we should leave. I think that's like the
Yeah.
ghost way of saying get the
There's
fuck out.
There's a plague coming.
But no, this one was so old. They had like sunken graves, they had sunken headstones, they had Civil War headstones. Like there was a couple of patches where you were like, I probably shouldn't stand there. I will fall through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
So, yeah,
living in
creepy.
California, when I was younger, we would go to the Sierra Nevada mountain range
Oh, see, that's
every
cool.
year. We'd go for anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And we go camping in these nice campgrounds. Guys, if you've ever heard of it,
Glamping.
it's called Twin Lakes. And this is not the Twin Lakes by Mammoth. This is north of Mammoth by Bridgeport, California. And we'd go into Twin Lakes, awesome fucking place. Little more overcrowded now, and I won't go into details. But we would go up there, and we'd be up there for 2 to 3 weeks. So we'd go do things, and we'd go to Virginia City, which isn't close, but it's an hour or two drive or whatever it is from there. We go to different places. And one of these places we went to is called, I believe, Aurora. And I believe Aurora may have been in Nevada. Now, it's an old gold mining town, I believe, as is every goddamn ghost town out there.
Yes.
Now, Aurora, Nevada, you get to by a dirt fucking road. There's no take the highway, get off on this street, go this way, and then there's a tiny dirt road. No. You get off the highway on a goddamn dirt road, and you fucking drive, and you drive,
and you
eventually
some more.
get there.
Wow.
I remember going out there with my dad and a family friend who, at the time, was not retired. He was a cop, high up in the police force. I won't say which one. Good thing, because he had a gun with him. Probably good. We went to Aurora. There's barely anything left of Aurora. However, there's a small cemetery, because it was a small town, and it's not like your typical cemetery. It's gated in and fenced in or whatever, and you got all these headstones lined up. It's just some headstones, and things are dilapidated and broken down. You can't even see buildings. There's no buildings, nothing. And I remember this big, huge fucking tree. And big and huge meaning width. It wasn't tall, but the width, and it was just hanging
wide.
down. I remember a lot of brush, bushes, and some trees. And I remember it being so fucking creepy when we were there. I don't even remember much about it, but it was like...
You got that feeling.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And I want to go back today, but I want to buy a gun. I want to get a concealed carry license before I go.
Because you're going to shoot that ghost.
Well, there's life there now. Near there, there is some mining going on nearby. They're doing things up. There's stuff going on near there. But this place was like, yeah, I mean, if something happened, if I were to go there today and something happened, I wouldn't be shocked. And I would be shocked. I'd be probably scared shitless, but I wouldn't be shocked if something happened at a place like this. It was just crazy. But it's interesting you mentioned, no sound or anything.
Yeah.
But, I've walked outside at my home on different nights, and I've noticed on, different nights as well, there's just no sound. It's really weird how most nights you hear, like where I'm at, you don't hear traffic because there's not a lot of traffic where I'm at, but there's sounds you hear. And then there's nights you go out and there's nothing. It's like just dead silent. So fucking weird. But if you get in a cemetery and it's like that, well...
Especially when you're surrounded by a forest in the middle of a national park.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now a lot of them had the same names. There was only maybe a handful of last names. So it definitely was either a small little village that used to exist there, or it was a family's like generational personal, but it was a little big to be a personal. But it was just like, where was this town for this cemetery to be here? Because there's nothing around it. So it just, I go because I like the historical aspects, but I don't revisit them on a basis to peruse through. I'll go to check out like the historical aspect. I'll go to check out like the really old ones. This one actually, forgot to mention, had slate headstones in it where they would hand carve like the words into it. So like a lot of them were like, obviously because it's slate, it just chips away in pieces. And then on other ones, you could see the lines that they drew across it in order to like put the words on in a straight manner. It's
Right.
very interesting. But yeah, no, I don't peruse them, but I do like to go for the historical aspect, and like that's about it. I'll visit it once. I won't go
So-
multiple.
Yeah. So Little Egypt Cemetery, you've never
Yeah.
been there.
No.
Okay. Well, let's get. We're almost done, and we got a couple pictures, and I believe these are from Little Egypt Cemetery. People have also so remember Little Egypt. In case you guys got lost in the last 20 fucking minutes that we went off on nothing, tossing nickels or pennies on babies' graves, and you hear the baby crying.
So weird.
Yeah. People have also reported seeing mists and orbs in pictures taken at the cemetery, and some believe satanic rituals have been performed there. Well, why do you believe that? Have you seen that? Heard that? Oh, I
Because
got
the
the hiccups now,
satanic
man.
panic definitely had a
Cheers.
grip hold on this area in the 90s. Absolutely. This would be 100% that the satanic panic. Yep.
Satanic panic was everywhere, and
But this
thank
is-
you
this is
to
the type
the
of
media and the
town.
government.
Oh yeah. But this is the type of town where it would just be like a continual thing. Like this is the
Right.
high North Bible Belt here. Like we'll leave it at that. So that does not surprise me that they would say that because it's a graveyard and satanic
Yeah.
panic. It's a very conservative area. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that's why
Yeah.
I believe the satanic panic would probably take hold stronger and longer here than say
Yeah.
Michigan. But everyone just says that.
Well, so this cemetery has become a popular place for thrill-seeking teens to hang out. Gravestones have been toppled over and destroyed, and the cemetery is surrounded by a fence topped with barbed wire. Because of this, police patrol the area often, and visitors will likely be asked to leave.
I mean, don't. That makes me so mad. Don't disrespect
Yeah.
the dead. Don't fucking knock over these hundreds of dollars, like of a fucking marble stone. That some people
Well,
like.
What do you expect nowadays?
Fucking kids are shit. A lot of kids are shit.
Yeah.
Raise them better, people.
Yeah.
You're a little
Yeah.
shithead that kids will be kids are eventually gonna have to go out
No.
into like society and they're gonna get shit on.
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We can't go off on this tangent, but that
No.
to me that's like the one saying boys will be boys when
I
they're
hate
doing
that.
shit to girls.
I hate that.
I'm like, oh no.
Mm-mm.
How about
No.
parents will be parents and fucking parent your kids?
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I mean, no, the people who
w-
say that are the ones that need to parent. But
Yeah.
no,
well,
the knocking of
exactly.
gravestones. But also back to the whole like orb thing. The reason I gave that face was because like orbs are just fucking dust particles captured in a camera.
Well, typically, I mean, you never
Yes.
know. Well,
I
let's look at
just-
some pictures. These,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe,
let's
are
take-
from this cemetery. Here we go. Here's the cemetery at night. Picture number 1.
Dust.
Number 4712. Yeah.
4712.
So, I mean, yeah, that's. I don't like the whole orb thing. I just don't. I would question how many dust particles are in the air out in an open area like this versus inside a house. But, you got clearly this is nighttime, and also very clearly someone's shining a pretty bright light out there.
It's
so
also
that they're
surrounded
able-
by cornfields, so there's probably a
Yeah.
lot of particles in the air from that.
Right.
Yeah.
So someone's shining a light out there, obviously because it's night, and they want to be able to take a photo during the night.
Mm-hmm.
No better way to do that than shine the light.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're going to get the reflection of anything that may be in the air in a near vicinity. I mean, how about turn your light off and go sit down in front of one of those gravestones with your back to the open cemetery behind you? How about that?
No.
That'll be creepy.
That
You know,
yeah.
this is just shit in the air. To me, there's just that's it. Let's go to the next photo. Let's see what we got. We have more orbs or particles in the air. And you know what's interesting? Well, I don't even
Mm.
know what's interesting, but I mean, you can see ones that look like they're probably closer or huge at the bottom
Mm-hmm.
left of the screen versus in the middle, middle top, you kind of got some that are a little farther away, so they're smaller but still kind of airy. Then you got the ones that are even farther away, so they're even smaller and look more solid. I mean, guys, it's just shit in the air. But another thing through photography and photo editing, I do a lot. Those ones on the bottom left, I mean, those almost look like shit on the lens. If you go out there and you take photos for any short period of time, depending on the day, what's going on, you got to remember this is nighttime. So who knows how much condensation's in the air? We know there's more in the air at nighttime usually. All you need is a little bit of that to get on your lens, and you get exactly what you're seeing here. It's that simple. I've had to edit a lot of that shit out before, because I was a dumbass and forgot to clean my lens every 2 fucking minutes. You know, you unfortunately can't convince me with much here. Yeah. Let's go to the last photo here. We're gonna have number 4714. I'm only saying that so I know how to edit this, but here we go. Looks like almost maybe a for sale sign on the road. You got a bunch of orbs.
Again,
particles,
just
something
particles.
in the air. Yeah, come on though. I mean, honestly, I've seen plenty of night photos. I've never seen this many in the air. Have you?
Yes. I'm going to be completely honest. I have gone to graveyards back in 2005 with my little digital camera.
No. Whoa.
No,
hold
no,
on.
no, no,
hold
no.
on. Hold on. No, nope. Hold on. Other than a graveyard.
Okay, I've taken night pictures.
Other than a graveyard.
Yes, I've taken night pictures
Okay.
with my shitty little digital camera back in 2005. And yes, orbs. I mean, I'm sure that there's, if I went outside right now and did the same thing, I'd probably get the same result. But again, like, this is obviously, I can tell, in wooded areas or around,
Of course.
what I know is cornfields. So there are more particles going through the air from the trees and the corn or
Right.
the fields versus where I live in the middle of the city where there ain't shit other than a concrete jungle. So if I went out right now and I took a picture, I probably wouldn't get that. But now if I went, say, down there where it is, I feel like I would get the same picture.
Right. And you also don't know in these photos, there's zero context. So you don't even know, was there a breeze or any wind that night? Because that alone, you can already see there's a ton of trees around, right?
Yes.
That's just going to be blowing shit out of the trees as well. And from what I'm seeing in this photo, if you look at those particles, especially those ones that are a little bit larger towards the middle left of the screen there, or the picture, you see the left side of them is not as clear as the right half of those
see
particles.
that,
right? So that is, I without even noticing that, I already get the impression these things are moving to the right, from left to right. And then with seeing that, that's what I'm getting. That is just telling me these are just particles in the air, just moving kind of from left to right. They're all kind of doing the same thing, showing the same design, everything.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I see it, like the ones on the road.
Yeah, exactly. And right above the road, right above the yellow line
That
there,
one.
just to left of middle. I mean, I've seen plenty of photos like this from Ghost Town in central northern California-ish. The Sierras, where we go camping. There's a nice ghost town out there. Very well kept too. They have people living there year-round, rangers living there year-round. Make sure people don't come in when they're closed and all that stuff. It's a really cool place and actually very historical. But I mean, I've seen photos from there inside the old bar, tavern, whatever the hell they called it, that they had.
Saloon.
And people saying, saloon, orbs. But the difference is you don't see a million of them in one shot. You have one. Looks a little different than these two. So it's like, well, who the fuck knows? But in these pictures, I mean, you're not convincing me of jack. So
Same.
yeah, Well, that is tonight's show. Stevie, what do you think about haunted South Bend and the places we've traveled to in Elkhart, Mishawaka? And I'm confusing all those counties, cities. What the fuck? Because this is South Bend. Obviously Elkhart's Elkhart, not South Bend. Mishawaka, I've always been confused on Mishawaka. Is that South Bend? Is that
No.
part of South Bend?
No.
What the fuck? So what do you think?
Mishawaka it shares a border with South Bend. Some of them absolutely. The cemetery, I think it's just simply because it's creepy. It's a cemetery. It's
Of
old.
course.
I don't. That's about as far as that goes. I don't really believe it much further than that. But like the Oliver House, absolutely. Just because I do know the history of that house and the hacienda, I do know the history of that place. And it to me makes absolute sense why people would experience things there. These are houses that were loved, that were lived in, that families were raised in. Absolutely, there is probably still residual energy living there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's that.
yeah, I mean, they're stories, and I can't knock them. I can knock those goddamn orbs though, because those aren't orbs. I've never really liked the term orbs. I've always heard of people kind of dismissing the term orbs, and I don't know why, but they've always been negative about it. So I've never liked them just for that reason. The term, but there's a place here in California. Guys, if you've been there, let us know. Comment down below. Called Julian, California. The little town called Julian. Really cool town. Stevie, if you ever fucking get out to Southern California, you go to Julian. It's in San Diego County. It's on the outskirts. It's out in the forests and stuff. Really cool. It's one of those towns where it's like you have one main street, and that's the street. And there's a few shoot offs from that street, and that's it. It's an old fucking town. They even do an old Western show there. This little makeshift jail shit.
That's amazing.
But they're known for their apples, apple orchards and stuff, and apple pies and apple cider. And I must say, their apple pies are fucking great. They got 3-4 different little places you can go get apple pies from, and they all do like apple pies. You can get different styles. One of my favorite is the ones with all these like sugary crumbs on top. They're really good.
So almost like a strudel on top.
I don't know about that, but just crumbs.
Crumbs.
I don't know. But that's what they're known for. And I used to go camping around there. There's a mile, literally a mile before you get into town. There's a turnoff for these campgrounds that are really cool. I used to go camping out there, and I've stayed in Julian on the main street there in a little hotel, bed and breakfast, whatever, a few times. And especially when I'm there, I like to go out late at night for a quick walk on the street, and go up and down, and there's nobody. It's empty, and it's actually a little bit creepy. But man, I remember seeing this one particular store. I know right where it's at, and I'm looking at it across the way, and they have their display window, just a window looking in the shop, but they got a couple things in there, and something lit up in there, and I've just always had the creepiest feeling walking by it. And I'm not talking about walking by it. I'm talking about walking by it on the opposite side of the street. Looking over there, there's this little light that's on. Sometimes it was on, sometimes it was off, but it was really weird. There's just something about it. But it's a creepy little town, but at night, that's just because it's empty.
Yeah.
But it's a cool place to go visit. Very popular place. You get car clubs going up there. I remember going up there one time, and there was like a group of groups of like Corvettes from like Corvette Club going up there.
Nice.
There's Dodge Vipers. Oh, love to have one. Group of those up there. Motorcyclists, very popular. I used to motorcycle up there once in a while. The road going in there is great.
When I was out in California, we had a car club that would meet every Sunday morning, and they would line up on the county line because there was a perfect little strip right there, and they would do 1/4 mile drags every Sunday morning. Yep, woke up to that every Sunday.
Yeah.
Fun times. But yeah, but I totally get like why car clubs would go out into the middle of nowhere. One, the drive. Two,
Well, these roads, they're fun for motorcyclists as well as
sure.
Sporty
In
cars.
the middle of fucking nowhere, you have no traffic. You can go pretty much as fast as you want. Like, surprising they are still well taken care of despite being in the middle of fucking nowhere. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can only go as fast as you want because there's a lot of cops that hang out there. You got to be careful. They
True.
watch for that shit.
True.
Well,
monitored by aircraft.
Not there.
Our area it was.
But they're on the ground. So, yeah, that's it. Guys, like, share, subscribe, comment down below why you think I'm doing the show tonight and Stevie's not. And she fucking should be, obviously. If you got a personal story of your own, obscure story of your own, send us an email, obscuredr1@gmail.com. Type story in the subject line. Tell us your story in the body. We'll share your story for you. We know a lot of people don't want to themselves. We'll do it for you anonymously. Totally fine. If you'd like to be on the show,
please,
you can do that. Just let us know in the email. Yeah. And we'll get you on the show. It's super easy for you. You don't have to be technologically savvy to do it. It's easy. And we'll do so anonymously or not, up to you. And you can tell your own story and we can talk about it. I think it'd be a good time. Bling, bling. Stevie, I'll let you hit us up with the bell this time. We'll do the in-depth bell.
The in-depth bell.
It is 5 p.m. Pacific.
It is 5 p.m. Pacific, 9. 8 p.m. Eastern.
8.
8. Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern. Every Friday, drop another episode. Sometimes you'll get a little short during the week or you'll get a full episode during the week. Either way, if you hit that bell, you get notified every time new content drops from us. Clicking, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. It all helps us, all 46 of you. We appreciate, well, I mean, what you said the other day, all 40 of you, because really some of that is us. We appreciate.
Well, two is us.
Well, I know. I have
people, but
I have personal friends who I have been like, guess what? You're following us now. So 40 of you, we appreciate everything that you do. So like, share, comment, subscribe, get notified, tell all your friends.
Yeah. You know, someone commented recently. I don't know if you know this person or not. You probably don't. And that's probably better that you don't if you don't. I'm going to look at the comment real quick. Whoever you are. Oh boy. Now I'm going to be having a hard time finding it. Let's see here. Get rid of the filters here. So this was from, did I mention it last time? I might have. Yeshula's King 88.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she said, or he said, whoever that is, there's a video online of them interviewing a Mexican man about her, not Guy in Green.
Yeah,
and that was
in regards to the lady.
The crazy plane lady. I did comment back to you. If there's any chance you can find the link to that video, please reply back. Hey, also, Yeshula King 88. You want to come on the show and talk about it? Please, we'd love to have you. But yeah, share that link if you can find that. That would be very helpful. That'd be great. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Haunted South Bend, Indiana, or nearby South Bend,
St. Joe County.
It's kind of all the same.
I mean, Elkhort's Elkhart County. But yeah, so Michiana. Let's put it that way. That's what we call ourselves here. Haunted Michiana. So.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. With that said, we're out of here. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.